everyone. Kanisha Grayson from The Art of Applying here. We help people get into the world's best graduate schools and get money to pay for it. Today we have our awesome client Chitra here in her sun goddess sunroom, which I am absolutely loving. Hi, Chitra.
Hi, Kanisha.
So, Chitra, what are we celebrating today?
Today we are celebrating that I'm officially going to law school.
Yay! Okay, tell us, what law school are you going to?
I'm going to Indiana University Robert H. McKinney School of Law.
Fantastic. She said the full official name. Excellent. So first, just tell us, how do you feel?
I feel pretty good. I got my t-shirt in the mail yesterday that says it's going to be 1L of a year. So I'm very excited.
That's really cute. 1L of a year. I love that. I gotta use that somehow. That is super cute. Okay, very great. All right. So Chitra, everybody wants to know, great, she got into her dream school. Tell us about your stats, whatever you want us to tell us. So that would be your age, where you went to college, what you studied, what your GPA was, what your LSAT score is, what your work experience is, and where you work. Just dish the goods, whatever you're comfortable with sharing.
Of course. So I'm now 23. I actually took 5 years to graduate college. When I started, I wanted to be a biomedical engineer who was pre-med and applying to med school, but of course that changed along the way. And instead I went into biological engineering and figured out I wanted to be pre-law. My GPA was not so hot. It turns out that although I wanted to be an engineer, my math was not as good as it should have been.
Okay.
And so I had a 2.5 GPA rounding out my final semester. But I got a 155 on my LSAT, and I really, really worked hard on my essays, which is how I think I even made it to law school in the first place. It has to have been the essays.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about that. How did you find us, and what made you reach out to us?
I actually found you on Facebook because a friend had liked your page, and it just showed up in my newsfeed that way.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, our Facebook fan page has grown like crazy. It was probably like 5,000 likes 2 years ago, and now it's 20,000, over 20,000. So yeah, wow. Facebook is a huge place people find us. And what made you reach out to us for help instead of saying, you know what, I'll just do it on my own, throw my hat in the ring and see what happens?
Well, so my parents always have this philosophy, which is if you don't think you're good enough, trust the professionals to do it, which is sort of what I adopted and decided, hey, I need help. It's probably time I asked for it.
Okay, good. And so as you know, and as many of the people out here watching your video or listening to this know, every single person who works with us in our application accelerator has to have a breakthrough call. Talk to us about what you thought would happen on the breakthrough call and what you remember happening on the breakthrough call.
So I actually have a very vivid memory of the breakthrough call because it was nothing like what I expected it to be. I assumed it was sort of like an interview or some kind of onboarding call, but I didn't actually think that it would be such a deep dive into everything I was thinking at the moment and everything that I wanted to be doing and things like that. And I remember my breakthrough coach asking me what I thought I was able to do versus what I felt like I was able to do at the moment. And it was great to make that distinction between I was at a very low, underconfident place about my GPA and what I thought I could do by myself versus what I thought I could do better.
Wonderful. And so when your breakthrough coach said, you know what, Chitra, thanks for sharing all of this. Let me recap to you my understanding of what's going on. And you know what? Yes, we can help you. How did that feel?
That felt pretty amazing. I actually kind of thought I won. I did it. It's all over now.
Yeah, it's all
over. That was just the beginning.
Yeah, talk to us more about that feeling of I won. It's all over now, even though it was just the beginning.
So I was feeling very helpless and, over my depth where all of the applications for law school were concerned. I'd never done anything like that before, and I just didn't know where to start. So when I did that call with you guys who are professionals and have this excellent reputation, I was just like, okay, I have someone on my side that's pulling for me now that wasn't there before.
Wonderful. So, talk to us about how it felt making the investment. Did you pay for it on your own? Did you get any help? Was there any fear, or was it kind of like, nope, I'm all in, let's do it? Talk to us about that.
So definitely there was some fear about, the large investment, and I planned to do it either in one chunk or not at all. I got help from my parents to do that because they paid for my education and they planned to pay for my law school if I didn't get scholarships and things like that. So it was definitely a decision I wanted them to weigh in on because they consider me a good investment. So if I'm making investments in a program, in anything, they want to be a part of that.
Okay, great. And were your parents on your breakthrough call?
They were not on my breakthrough call because they actually live permanently in India, 8,000 miles away. And they come here about 4 to 6 times a year because they work in global roles in their respective companies.
Okay, you got a power couple as parents.
Yep, workaholics.
Yes, and that's a challenge. And I want a powerful career for you, but I also want lots of free time so you can enjoy that sunroom.
I think so too. This is their sunroom, so I'm taking full advantage right now.
That's exactly right. Okay, so Chitra, you get your parents' help to make the investment.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you want our help with? And then what actually happened?
So I wanted help with, I want to say, an assessment of all of my various stats, and then possibly help with consulting on my essays and the specific writing materials. I was at a stage senior year, though, where I was so very busy because I was taking 2 engineering senior design courses that are normally taken over a year
Okay.
at one time.
Oh, wow.
And so that's what was happening during the fall. And I did not estimate the amount of time it would require to be applying to law schools while doing that. So on my part, that was a major calculation error. If I could do it over, I would start with the art of applying maybe after I was done in December, and then do it really, really, really dedicatedly in January and February, because I feel like that would have had a lot better results than my starting in August, not being able to put enough time into it, doing it in little bits and pieces over several months, and missing deadlines that I had originally set for myself.
Okay. What's interesting, though, Chitra, when you say that is, I challenge, obviously your opinion is your opinion, but I challenge the idea that you should have waited until December to work with us, because I can imagine that there was some advice you received earlier that you were able to take action on that you wouldn't be able to take action on if you had only started in December. Is there anything to that?
I think I did receive a lot of excellent advice in regards to the mental coaching and in regards to my whole approach to applying and getting psyched up for the process. But at the same time, there was just too much on my to-do list for me to, I feel, effectively go after the tasks on my The Art of Applying to-do list. And I'm the kind of person who likes to sit down and go through 10 tasks at a time. So I felt very frustrated when I just couldn't carve out the time in my week after school to get that done.
I see. Okay, got it. And so talk to us about the experience of working with your consultant. What did you like best about it, and what surprised you the most?
My consultant was awesome. I loved her, and she was extremely accommodating and really, really kind and really sweet. And I wish her the best because I want everyone to work with her. But she was very good with her advice. I never ever felt either insulted or overly critiqued or demeaned in any way. I always felt sort of encouraged and filled with positive feedback and useful criticism that I could incorporate into my essays or my resume or whatever I was turning in and whenever I was turning it in. And she was also the most understanding person about the fact that there was a lot going on and I wasn't meeting the deadlines I originally set for myself. And we happened to get engaged in the same week of one another, which was also pretty crazy.
I
So
love
we
that. I was
both
gonna
said,
ask because I see your ring.
yeah.
Maybe I missed it, or maybe I even congratulated you and I forgot. But congratulations.
Thank you. No, so both of us just took the weekend off and we said, this is it. You know, we both just got engaged. I'll see you next week.
That's
So
I
that
love
was pretty
that.
funny.
That's super funny. Okay, great. So now talk to us about, you said my essays. My essays must be the reason I was able to get in.
Mhm.
Talk to us about where you were with your essays before working with us, and then what it was like working on your essays with us.
So I really liked the ideas that my consultant gave me, which included full transparency being key,
Yeah.
and just putting down the reasons for things being the way they were. So I did write an addendum. I don't know if I finally submitted my addendum for approval, but I did write an addendum and I did write my essays, and a lot of those essays were to do with reflecting on the past 5 years. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that worked in my favor because I pretty much just spelled out everything I've ever wanted to write down about myself and then some.
Good. Okay, good. And Chitra, I would love for you to give some encouragement to
Mhm.
other people watching this video who might have a low GPA or who might have started out as, were you pre-med?
Mhm.
Yeah, that happens a lot. People start out as pre-med, usually OChem just kicks their butt, and then their GPA is devastated. So encouragement for low GPAs, people who started out as pre-med, or even people with a low LSAT scores. So just talk to us about how you were feeling. You used the term underconfident, and then what encouragement and advice you would give to people who may be dealing with one or more of the same things that you had.
So for anyone as an undergrad who's just let, their major snowball on them, which quite frankly I did, you know, it's going to happen. No one is going to figure out what their exact perfect major is on the first shot. I thought I had it all figured out, and it turns out I didn't. And as someone who likes to plan and be prepared for everything, that was devastating. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, I figured out it wasn't impossible to, meet the rest of my goals, even though I had some hiccups along the way. And the art of applying was a big part of that. I was actively encouraged to pursue far more ambitious goals than I had set up for myself at the point because my GPA was low. My LSAT score was not too hot either. And I definitely was feeling extremely, incapable at the time because I thought I wasn't as good of an engineer as I could be, but I realized I could probably be better at some other professions. And so I just looked for what might fit me better. And I got some encouragement from you guys. And then I just applied.
Yes. So what would you say to the other people who are out there maybe doing it on their own, or maybe they're just still a college senior wondering if they should get help because they want to go to law school or some other degree, but they're just like, why should I spend money on a program when I'm not even sure if I can get in?
So I dealt with a lot of doubt and a lot of uncertainty because of that low GPA and that average LSAT score. It's not impossible. If you want to go to law school, you may not get into the top law school there is, but you will still get into law school, and that means you're one step closer to being a lawyer and doing what you want to do. So, don't stop in your tracks. Just keep at it. Just keep at it. And as far as investing in the program with this big chunk of money and these professionals, and if you're feeling like you're on your own, that's when you ask for help. They are professionals. They will help. That's their job.
Beautiful. Anything else you want to share, Chitra?
No, I think that's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your story, your advice, your encouragement, your insight, and congratulations. It's going to be one hell of a year.
I think so too. Thank you.
Thanks for watching our video. For more videos just like this, make sure you click subscribe. And if you want to work with us on your graduate school applications, visit us at theartofapplying.com or click on the link below in the description.